Do you listen to the voices in your head? Have you ever called yourself stupid? Patted yourself on the back for a job well done, or looked into the mirror and said, I look fantastic. My name is Boris Cherniak, and I'm your motivational hypnotist. And I'm here to tell you that your mind, that would be me, and I'm here to tell you that your mind is such a marvelous thing. We all live in a wonderful world because hypnosis is almost like an elaborate game of Simon Says, except my name's Boris. But the fact, there's two parts of the mind. There's the conscious, and then there's the subconscious. And the conscious is the reasoning, the filter that all of the suggestions are coming through. They let them pass or they don't let them pass. And the subconscious, or something that I will refer to as a trance, that is always there. You all live in a trance, guided by negativity and even fears. Now, hypnosis starts long before you hear a hypnotist mention the word sleep. It's an interesting process because what actually happens is people focus so well. They really focus so well that they concentrate on something so well that it becomes reality to them. And you live that way all of your life. James Randi describes hypnosis as an agreement between two people to fantasize together. Well, let's get into the fantasy part of it. Both of you wide awake. We have with us Michael and Alora. We got a chance to spend a little bit of time together beforehand. And speaking of imagination, imagine very vividly that in my hand, I'm holding a string. To that string, there's a large helium balloon. And what color do you like, Michael? You like blue. Blue, and here you go. Here's a blue balloon for you. It's a helium balloon, so it'll take your hand right up towards the ceiling all by itself. Oh, what color would you like? You would like blue as well, maybe? Orange, yellow, pick any color whatsoever. A red balloon, here we go. Here's a red balloon right here. And hang on to this one. And they will take your hands right up towards the ceiling all by themselves. And not only the imagination is so wonderful, you can actually visualize and control your own destiny, your own everyday. And I just put it right down. It's kind of neat that it's funny to what extent we can actually imagine the things. And they focus so well that they actually completely bypass reasoning and anything else. And they focus so well, I can even talk in front of them. That's how well they focus. Now, you are all imprinted from the day you were born, because your mind is a computer. You not only are aware of what's going on, but you're actually imprinted with information. My background is psychology and computers, so what it is, literally the two don't seem related, but they are. Your mind works, well, you blink, everything is being controlled from one source. And it's controlled to the point where you are imprinted with the information that will make it very difficult for you to read. There we go. To read this sign, which actually is a neon sign with different colors from the Science Center in Toronto, or better yet, this one. Simply, your mind is readjusting your own programming, and you are controlling it and reprogramming it right on the spot. And, oh, the balloon's here. And both of you deep asleep now. Deep asleep now. Now, the only thing that I'm here to tell you that the trance is always there. The trance will always be there. The only thing that's an add-on is the consciousness. So the consciousness is actually the add-on that is either turned on or off. Now, when I wake you up in just a second, let's give you something to do. We have Michael and Alora. Michael, when I wake you up in just a second, for one reason or another, your right shoe has become a cell phone that you can take selfies with. And boy, do you ever like selfies. For one reason or another, you will love to take a selfie, especially when my back is turned. You want to get one in. And Alora, when I wake you up, you are the safety person for this theater, so you'll always make sure that everything is safe. And if by any chance it's not, you let us know. There's a microphone on the side on your left, so you'll be able to let the audience know if anything is not up to par. Now, we guide ourselves all day long through repetition, and we repeat things constantly. It works on an if then else, just like a computer principle, where you are able to take whatever is there. And at some point in times, you may have wanted to work on something overnight, and you have a gut feeling about stuff. So I'm telling you that everything is working constantly at all times. There's stimuli that are coming in at you, and your brain is processing those stimuli. So this is exactly why when you leave a problem overnight, often you wake up with a solution. And both of you, wide awake as a safety person, and the shoe selfie phone. No, I'm sorry, what's going on? Let me just grab a microphone to make sure what is going on here.
I need to check and make sure there's no trap doors under here. I'm the safety person of the theater.
Yes, I'm sure, but I got to move on. So is that okay? Michael, wide awake.
It's really important that I check that there's
yes,
trap door.
it's all right. There's no trap doors. I'm certain. And go ahead and please sit down. I'm just trying to move on with this clicker thing. And all I'm here to tell you that when you program yourself, here, why don't you hold on to this? I have a mic. Oh. And I'm here to tell you that not only do you program yourself, but you actually do it with constant repetition. That's why daily lists make such a wonderful thing to motivate each one and every one of you. You have seen commercials, and the repetition of those commercials gets you to get acquainted with the product. And constant repetition, you walk up to a counter, I'll have this and whatever that product might be. And by repetition, you're able to constantly convince yourself. So the answer to when somebody asks you, how are you, should always be fantastic. Everything good? Into the microphone, yes.
Well, I'm not sure that everything's safe. It's my job here as a safety person to make sure that everything is sealed off. But
right, and Michael, how about you?
The surface?
Yeah.
Oh, you're great.
Did you take enough?
Oh, enough.
Oh, I
I can
absolutely.
still take some.
What?
I can take 6 on.
Okay. Now, we can even control our moods to the point where you can switch instantly on the fly. Sometimes you feel depressed, and at those times, you can actually change absolutely everything that happens in your life from the feeling down to feeling up. For example, right here, both of you, let it sink in, everything is starting to become absolutely hilarious starting now. And you know that laughter is contagious. It'll spread from one person to another. And the only thing that you do is when you concentrate so well. I know. What are you laughing at? And we can literally control all of our moods the same way everything is absolutely serious now. That's exactly how things work. Now, I'm sure some of you may recognize this sound. To-do, 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 to-do,
everyone move towards
to-do.
the exits. There's been a shark sighting within this theater, and it's really imperative that you get towards the exit right now. You're going to have to start moving.
Excuse me?
We're in serious danger. There's been a shark sighting, and we need to go to the exit. There's one here, I
There's
guess,
actually
and
no sense for...
but this isn't a time for talking. Like, this is very serious.
well, there's no safe for alarm because according to the shark attack records and Mashables, you actually have a better chance of getting killed while taking a
Everyone,
selfie.
please listen to me. I'm the professional here. I'm a safety person for the theater. There are 2 exits, 3 exits in the back.
There's a lot of exit. There's really no alarm. And please go ahead and sit. What are you doing? I see. Well, put your shoe back on. And please, both of you, freeze. Not only can you literally freeze the moment, but this is the coolest part in the whole presentation. You can actually wave a hand in front of their face, and the eyes won't even move. Just watch. Isn't that neat? And both of you, deep asleep now, and deep asleep. Now, for quite a few years, I had a chance of being a regular guest expert on The Maury Show, helping people with weird and unusual fears and phobias. And I got a lot of sight into this because not only did I figure out that phobias, well, let me tell you a little bit about phobias. Phobias and fears, they trigger a response from each and every one of you. And we all have a response to whatever it is. And on the show, we had two schools of thought. There was one where they were faced with a fear, something called flooding, and then they were given to me to help them with the actual fear through hypnosis. And one thing that I found that was actually quite interesting is that fear is learned. You do not get a fear. You actually learn to be afraid. If as a child you touch a hot stove, next time you think twice about it. And we have different reasons why we have a fear, whether don't like or misunderstand something. We do it for self-preservation, or oddly enough, it's passed on along from an authority figure. And somebody like your parent or somebody, just imagine if your mother jumped on top of a chair when she saw a mouse, you would be doing exactly the same thing. And we actually had a lady that brought her mother on the show who literally ended up being treated for the same thing herself, where it was passed along the same way. We are constantly surrounded also by negativity. A UCLA study at some point in time figured out that an average toddler hears the word no more than 400 times a day. And it's up to you to change all of the no's in your life to the point where you are changing the no's into a yes. And I actually call it prophetic thinking. Imagine your future and watch it materialize. So the success is within your hands. It's always there. You just never actually put it. There's so much negativity that you're picking negativity out of the air and calling it your own. I live by 4 simple words. It's a mantra that I actually took into my life, and those words are, you can do anything. There's no such thing as impossible. There's too many suggestions coming from the outside world that tell you that you can't. You can do anything. I really mean that. And the reason I say that is because there are fears. You create them yourself. The more you get caught up in the negativity, the more you start spiraling down. The same thing is opposite and possible, where you actually concentrate on the positive in your life. Because there's no way for you, just like what I'm going to do in just a second, to be that negative. The negativity is what drives you all the time. If you watch the news, it's not always about good news. That's why most of you are here watching the presentation of the TEDx right here today. And when I wake you up, when I wake both of you up, it's part of meditation, part of your internal dialogue. When I wake you up, both of you are feeling fantastic. You're feeling better than you ever have before. You're already feeling re-energized. The silly suggestions are completely removed from your mind, and you're feeling great. All of the negatives that you want to change in your mind have changed into positives. Becoming more and more aware of your surroundings, body no longer heavy, feeling great, and absolutely wide awake now. Wide awake. Now you have the control. The answer is right there, right in front of you. It always has been. You just have to see it. It's all about your emotional success.